Alrighty, that is all the NBA that we needed to cover for today. So now let's shift gears to the NFL and start breaking down that glorious Monday Night Football game from last night. So here we go. Dolphins at the Saints with the playoff positioning on the line, and the Dolphins claim that playoff spot and get the win 20-3. Now, I don't want to say I caused the Dolphins to win this game, but we did do a little bit of good luck for the Dolphins last night. We put the canvas back up on the wall for the show. We had our Dolphins hoodie on. We wore all our Dolphins hat during the game. We turned our lights teal during the game last night. So I don't want to say I had a hand in having the Dolphins win, but I didn't not have a hand in having the Dolphins not win the game. Can you follow that logic? I don't know if it makes sense, but it sounded pretty good. So Dolphins get the win 20-3. They cover the 3-point spread. Once again, folks, we knew that was disrespectful value as heck. We told y'all it really should have been Dolphins -10, and they win by 17. So we knew it was great value. We're not trusting a 4-string quarterback against one of the best defenses in the league, folks. Remember, yes, this Dolphins team started 1-7, but this is a totally different Dolphins team. The defense finally is good and consistent and can play an entire full 4 quarters while being good, and this offense has found a way to move the ball. Not that Tua was the issue, but the overall personnel offensively around Tua and these offensive coordinators having no idea how to tailor it to Tua's game. Finally got it all figured out here over the 7-game winning streak over the last 7 weeks here for the Dolphins, and now this is a real legit team, folks. And over the for these last 3 weeks of the season, going back last week, we're trying to put all these teams in kind of these 4 categories: Super Bowl contender, playoff pretender, and then just overall trash. And last night, I'm feeling very confident to put this Dolphins team in actual legit playoff contender. But then I was, kind of thinking about the game last night and watching the game last night, and I was like, you know what? Defense does really win championships. No, what won last season? It wasn't Patrick Mahomes' great offensive work in the Super Bowl. It was the complete opposite. It was the edge rushers of the Bucs making it hard for Patrick Mahomes to be comfortable in the pocket, forcing him to run all over the field, and not giving that man any time to throw. The defense wins championships. And folks, did you watch that Dolphins defense last night? It was absolutely immaculate. Ian Brook, his second throw of the game, a pick 6. I mean, we knew from there the game was over, and we didn't even have to worry about the offense. That was what was so great about just enjoying this Dolphins game. We knew the offense would eventually get it done because they always do. But once that kind of pick 6 happened, we knew the defense was just going to take care of business 100%. If it was just the Dolphins defense versus the Saints offense all day last night, the Dolphins win 7-3, folks, because of the pick 6. So, they couldn't even outscore the defense, folks. The Saints. So I am confidently, folks, putting the Dolphins in Super Bowl contender category because the defense is, I would say it, the best defense in the league. Right now, this is the best defense in the league here, and I'm loving what Brian Flores is doing, folks. And we've never wavered on Brian Flores. We just don't like defensive-minded coaches at the head coaching position, but we love Brian Flores, folks. Absolutely. The man gets it done. He loves the defense. The only one knock I have on Brian Flores is that it does kind of seem like the offense is an afterthought, and that was definitely highlighted in the beginning of the season. The defense was always solid. It's been ramped up now, and it's really this defense for the Dolphins is really the defense from last season of the Dolphins, which was so good. Just took, basically half the season to get back. Hopefully we can clean that up, and expedite it for next year. But it does seem like that Brian Flores, with defensive-minded head coaches, the offense is the afterthought. And really, you do kind of want offensive-minded head coaches at the head coaching position because you need points to win games. And, you want the weapons. You want to spend all the money on the offense. Right now, all the money for the Dolphins is in the defense. And once again, defensive-minded head coach, all the money's to the defense. There are obviously exceptions to the rule. Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, they're the exception to the rule, folks. Please don't come at me. But Andy Reid, Sean Payton, even John Harbaugh gets it done. These are coaches that obviously have made a name for themselves in the league, and they are kind of more offensive-minded head coaches, obviously. But Brian Flores, give the man credit, that defense, and I love it. It's not even really disguising the blitz. It's just showing, hey, we're going to rush 8, but we're going to drop some people back, and you're not going to know which people are dropping back in coverage. And honestly, I think that is the perfect way to run a defense. That's how I would run a defense if I was a defensive coordinator in the NFL. I don't care if I'm showing, cover 2. I want to show the blitz. I want to show everybody coming, and then as soon as the ball is snapped, we're dropping back in coverage with 2 or 3 or maybe even 5, and I'm only rushing 3, or maybe I'm rushing 7 and only dropping 1 back, but making that quarterback constantly second guess, and for him to just not even really be able to set the protection or really to know where to go with the ball pre-snap, because it's always going to change of who's dropping back in coverage. So the quarterbacks are instantly seeing, all right, well, I got a receiver to the left, a receiver to the right. I've got 8 people, coming at me. I don't know who's dropping back in coverage. So the left wide receiver on the left side of the field who's running kind of a slant route, if the left linebacker is dropping back and I see the pressure coming, so I think that's immediately going to be open. I can't just immediately throw that because the left linebacker might drop back into coverage. And the right receiver, he's on a streak routed. Am I going to have time for that to develop because the blitz coming? Is the right linebacker going to kind of drop back in coverage and kind of cover the shallow comeback route? What's happening here? So I love what this Dolphins defense is because of Brian Flores, and it obviously gets it done. Let's talk about these defensive stats for the Dolphins last night. Obviously, we had the 2 interceptions by Ian Book. There were a couple of fumbles by Alvin Kamara that kind of got overruled a little bit. We'll talk about Alvin Kamara in a second because I did not love what we saw from him body language wise. We'll talk about that when we talk about the Saints in a second. But let's finish up these defensive numbers here for the Dolphins because they were just absolutely fantastic. Jerome Baker, a sack and a half and 2 tackles for losses. Javon Holland, the rookie safety with the half a sack. Xavier Howard, the cornerback with the sack. Emmanuel Ogbah, 2 sacks, a tackle for loss. Zach Sealer, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. Andrew Van Ginkel, a tackle for loss. The tip ball that resulted into the pick 6 on his second throw of his career. We had Brandon Jones, a sack, a tackle for loss. Christian Wilkins, a half a sack. And Raquan Davis, a half a sack as well. They were all over this man, Ian Book. And that's why, we definitely had, 20 welcome to the league moments last night. And I'm sure Ian Book is like, all right, Trevor Siemian, Taysom Hill, y'all can take the job back. I'm good. Y'all, Sean Payton, I'm good. Thank you for the opportunity, but I'm good. I'm good for the rest of the year. Please trade me because I don't even want to be a part of this organization anymore because I'm having PTSD flashbacks for my entire life. So a little unfortunate by Ian Book last night. But back to this. Because of the Dolphins defense, folks, we are putting this Dolphins team in Super Bowl contender category. The other teams in this category are Rams, Eagles, Colts, and the Chiefs, folks. I think the Dolphins belong up there. I think this Dolphins defense can lock up all of these other Super Bowl teams. Super Bowl contender teams, and I believe the offense can get it done. They play great game managing, just kind of football all together. They don't really let Tua let it loose, and I think that is a not great thing to do. We'll watch some of these throws by Tua in a minute here after we're done kind of going over the stats here, but overall, Tua looks good, and as soon as he makes a mistake, and this is kind of the one knock that we do have on Tua, he makes like one boneheaded mistake every game that does really mostly result into a turnover, and that's exactly what we got last night as well. Tua goes deep when he had Jalen Waddle a little less not deep down the field, but he takes the deep shot, and turns into an interception, so that wasn't good. But then after that interception, folks, it's the next drive. It's a touchdown, and that's really what we see all the time by Tua. He throws a pick, and then he's right back down, making up for it with a touchdown on the next drive, or maybe the second next drive after the interception. But he always comes through in the clutch, and that's something that people don't talk about when they talk about Tua, folks. Winning matters so much in this league, folks. Winning cures everything. Winning fixes everything. And, these quarterbacks that don't win, y'all just gush over and gush over and gush over. When was the last thing that you've heard somebody say something bad about Trevor Lawrence? And that man has been absolutely awful this entire year. Now, yes, he's a rookie, but at some point, you've got to get it done. We talk about this all the time. Not getting it done on third down, and then just the unclutchability of not getting it done right on the goal line when you have a chance to beat the Jets for your third win of the season. Not getting it done. Tua wins games, folks. You got to give him credit for that. And it just seemed like when I was watching the game last night, I usually try not to kind of listen too much to the game. I don't think, in my opinion, that the announcers, especially on ESPN, because they've got some of the worst announcers, and that's no disrespect to them, but compared to like all the other announcers of Tony Romo on CBS, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on Fox, it's just absolutely fantastic. Even Chris Collinsworth, I know he's not the most favorite out there, but I think, he does bring, I don't know if it's just the sound, but he does, in my opinion, make it a little entertaining to listen to. But those guys on ESPN, I try not to listen to that broadcast. But I did listen to it last night, and it just seemed like they were so hesitant to kind of say anything good about Tua. He had a great completion percentage in the first half. It was like 13 of 15, and they were talking about, we just need him to be more consistent. I'm like, the man is 13 of 15 so far, slinging it around. He's so consistent. His completion percentage is the best in the league. What are y'all talking about? And then when it came to Ian Book, I mean, we've never seen this man ever in the league, and they was like, oh my God, he's so good. He's going to be so good. He's an athlete. He was actively running out of the pocket, getting chased down by a Dolphins linebacker for a 5-yard loss, and all the announcers were like, man, Ian Book is so athletic. He just got a 5-yard sack. What are y'all talking about? And then y'all are disrespecting Tua, saying he's not consistent on the very next breath after Tua's outperforming Ian Book, obviously by miles. I just don't get, and I don't think they're doing it on purpose, folks. I truly don't. I don't think this is like an anti-Tua agenda. I truly think it's just kind of unconsciously, because everybody's just been on Tua so long that that's just kind of your natural instinct reaction that Tua's not good, folks. But y'all got to stop listening to the people that say that Tua's not good, because he's fantastic, folks. He's really, really good with the football. Decision making, usually for the most part, is good. Like we said, those one boneheaded plays where he just tries to take a shot, and I think that stems from a little bit of the overall offensive play callers holding him back a little bit. I do think you can sling this ball a little bit more than what they're doing with Tua, but I think they're holding him back. So I think Tua, he's like, all right, I finally get an opportunity. I just want to sling this ball, and then unfortunately, it's double covered down the field. Not the best read, but he tries to fit it in there, and it usually does result into an interception. But then he cleans it up and is great for the rest of the game. So Tua played very well last night. Absolutely loved it. Tua 19 of 26. Let's get that completion percentage good to go. Calculated. 19 of 26. We've got 73% completion percentage. Y'all know I love that. 198 yards, not dinking and dunking. 1 touchdown, 1 pick. That pick, once again, inexcusable, especially when you had Jalen Waddle in the underneath, wide open, that would have gotten you kind of 10, 15 yards and the first down and all that. So the 1 interception, not good, but then it does result into a touchdown on the very next drive. And once again, the Saints can't do anything with the, great field position starting at their own 36-yard line. Of course they can't do anything. It's Ian Book, folks. So Tua, a pretty solid night overall. And then in the rushing attack, just getting Duke Johnson, and he, got it done last week, and Phillip Lindsay finally back. And they had a pretty solid running back by committee. They were using the Wildcat a little bit, which, I didn't hate. I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay. What I do hate, I'll tell you what I do hate, is bringing Jacoby Brissett on the field on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, and then not QB sneaking with them. Folks. This Dolphins team, they do it all the time, folks. It's literally every time it's like 3rd and 1 and they want to use like a quarterback sneak. They take out Tua because he's a little too small to run the QB sneak. Jacoby Brissett a little bit bigger and beefier. So they bring him in expecting the defense to just assume it's going to be a QB sneak. And then the Dolphins on 3rd and 1 with Jacoby Brissett, they run a play action, roll Jacoby Brissett out to the right, everything rolling to the right, and then it always gets clobbered and eaten up and they don't convert it because everybody's expecting that because you never actually run the QB sneak with Jacoby Brissett. So please stop bringing Jacoby Brissett out there on short distances like you're gonna QB sneak it. Just QB sneak it with Tua, folks. Just do it. He can do it. Yes, he's not the beefiest, but he is kind of very feisty. The man will fight for it. A little bit too much. Like, I hate Tua running the ball. Tua's not a dual threat quarterback at all in any sense of the word, folks. He's not fast at all. He's not elusive at all, folks. He cannot juke. He thinks he can juke. He does this kind of out in hesitation every time. And that's the same move, and they all learn that because there's big hits on Tua almost every single week. But Tua will, engage. He will kind of, deliver the first hit and try to get all the yards. I hate that about his game, but what am I going to say? Don't be a warrior? I can't criticize Tua for that. I just don't really like it at all. I don't want that man running at all. Literally at all. I don't want that man having even one rushing yard, which he actually had yesterday. 1 rush for 1 yard. Please don't rush at all. I don't care if it's for 100 yards on 1 rush. I don't want you running. All right, but in the rushing attack overall, Duke Johnson, 13 rushes, 39 yards. Phillip Lindsay, 13 rushes, 36 yards. Wish we got something a little bit better from Phillip Lindsay. Has some nice muscle runs, and he is a very physical runner, but nothing really broke. And then Myles Gaskin, only 3 rushes for 10 yards last night. All right, Tua, who was he trying to sling the ball to? We had Jalen Waddle, leading receiver, 10 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown, and that Jalen Waddle Tua connection is absolutely immaculate. Obviously, they have history with each other in Alabama. That's definitely kind of expediting this process, and it's looking really great all throughout. Jalen Waddle's so reliable and able to get open, and Tua, once again, that accuracy to put it on the money in stride and all that. It was fantastic last night. Then we had Matt Collins, a great catch, 1 catch for 40 yards. Durham Smythe, 3 catches, 31 yards. Mike Gesicki, 3 catches, 22 yards. We do need Mike Gesicki for this Dolphins team to really win the Super Bowl. I still believe they are Super Bowl contenders, but we are going to need Mike Gesicki back to being great. He was fantastic last season. Really, really gosh dang great the first kind of 4 weeks of this season. But other than that, he's really been mediocre during the kind of win streak, which is kind of crazy to say. So he's got to be a little bit better out there. So overall, offensively, Tua and company gets it done, and definitely the defense was absolutely the greatest thing about the Dolphins last night. All right, and then for the Saints, we get Ian Book. Y'all are ready to talk about this man? Man, oh man. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Is he good? Did anybody check on Ian Book today, folks? Is he good? Because he potentially could have some kind of early onset CTE, honestly. He was just getting absolutely smacked last night. Smacked, folks. If you don't watch the game, just I'm sure there's defensive highlights, and they're just absolutely, wow. We talk about the Walk of Fame defense. Man, oh man, this Dolphins defense was just crushing this man all night last night. Jeez Louise. But here we go. Ian Book, 12 of 20, folks. Not good. 60%, 135 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. And like we said, that second throw of the game, a pick 6. Man, oh man, definitely cannot do that. So Ian Book wasn't looking comfortable, and, how could he? Just getting absolutely obliterated every time he drops back. No time to throw, no time to think, and not having any great wide receivers. I mean, we do like Marquez Callaway, but that's really all they have. Yes, they have Alvin Kamara, but he's like a dual threat, running back. He's not an actual receiver. So Ian Book not having like tier 1 wide receivers to work with, and he's a rookie, 4-string, and this Dolphins defense coming into town with its exotic blitzes, and you don't know who's coming and not. That's tough for the rookie, and we saw it be very tough for the rookie. We see them only put up 3 points. And there was a stat going around. I don't think they converted any third downs last night. 0% on third down, folks. 0% on third down. We talk about Trevor Lawrence being trash on third down, but they usually get like 30% every single game. The Saints got zero third downs. Do y'all know how crazy that is? No third downs, not moving the ball. Yes, they can pick up first downs, but they did not get any on third down. And they did have third downs, folks. There was a lot of third downs. There was about 10 to 12 of them, and they did not get any. Absolutely not good at all. All right, so Ian Brook, disastrous night. And then Alvin Kamara, just that body language. He's got the dark visor. He's wearing a mask and all that. A little bit of a gator, it seemed. And the man's body chemistry and body language and all that just really showed like it was giving up, like he wasn't trying in this game because there was no point in trying because it's Ian Brook and the offense was so lackluster. So Alvin Kamara really not taking it upon himself to be the one to get it done, which we really hate. And I know it's hard. It's so hard for a running back to decide, hey, I'm going to get it done this game. We talk about it all the time with Zeke, going back to last year with no Dak, Zeke never getting it done and being the man, and that's why the Cowboys didn't make the playoffs, and that really kind of changed our opinion of Zeke a little bit. Not a whole lot, but still a little bit. Like, you couldn't go beast mode one game, you got paid and all that, you're kind of the face of the franchise a little bit, and now with the Saints, with not having Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian anymore, Alvin Kamara is the face of the franchise here, and he just didn't step up. And I know it's hard to step it up from the running back position, but only 13 rushes last night. They didn't really stick with it. It's hard to stick with it, big third downs and all that. I get it, but we still, at the end of the day, somebody's got to step it up. There's no excuses for losses, folks. There's really not. Nobody tries to make excuses here. Somebody's got to step up. Somebody's got to get it done. That's what everybody preaches, folks. Coaches preach, next man up mentality, obviously, but just getting it done. Can somebody get it done? I don't care what your stats are looking like. I don't care if you went out and threw 4 interceptions and you have 12% completion percentage. We're down 1 possession. We have a chance to win the game. Go get it done. Somebody step up and get it done. And Alvin Kamara was nowhere near doing that last night. And I'm a little disappointed in him. So Alvin Kamara, 13 rushes, 52 yards. Mark Ingram, 4 rushes, 17 yards. That was really it. Who was Ian Brooks slinging the ball to for his 135 yards? We had Lil Jordan Humphrey, 3 catches for 70 yards. Marquez Callaway, 4 catches, 46 yards. Ethan Wolf, 2 catches, 8 yards. Alvin Kamara, 2 catches, 7 yards. Kenny Stills, 1 catch for 4 yards. So nothing great. Obviously, like we know, they're missing. They don't got anybody. They don't got anybody at the receivers. So y'all still taking Ian Brook plus 3 points. It's so mind-boggling. I just don't get it. I don't get y'all sometimes, folks. I just don't get y'all. And I don't get Vegas a lot of times because what the hell were they thinking? That must have been some insider trading going on with Vegas, being like, hey, take the Dolphins plus 3. Wink! Wink! We're going to set the line at Dolphins plus 3. And then they tell all their friends, wink! Wink! Take it, hammer it, bet it. Which we did last night. So fantastic. And hopefully y'all did too. So Dolphins get the win 20-3. I just wanted to quickly watch some of these Jalen Waddle highlights just quickly here. We got every catch by Jalen Waddle in this highlight package. We'll go through them quickly, but just wanted to keep tabs on these Tua throws because once again, he was very, very accurate as heck with the ball, and that's the greatest thing about Tua is his accuracy. So here we go, gearing up right on the money real early on, 2nd and 6, getting some yards here, making it a 3rd and manageable, which we get right here on 3rd and 2. Tua going back to Jalen Waddle, and then his Jalen Waddle speed to beat that defender to the edge, and he gets the late hit out of bounds, so an extra 15 yards on top of it. Little bit of a screen pass here that goes nowhere. Now we get another 3rd and 7. He's going to go and target Jalen Waddle again, and this was the pass. Tua in the offense overall a little slow out of the gate. First drive didn't result in any points, and I believe this was on the first drive as well, but this throw right here, folks, holy moly, the accuracy once again by Tua. Fits it in a tight window right there to Jalen Waddle for about 10, 12 yards down the field. And once again, it's just a great pinpoint accuracy. Look at that ball. Yes, sir. And then Jalen Waddle, just so great at going and getting the ball. You got to love how he plays it, folks. Jalen Waddle, a great receiver in this league, and he's only a rookie, folks. Bingo bango right here, fighting for extra yards. Tua puts it right on the money on 2nd and 11, making it 3rd and 1. And here we get it, 3rd and 1 right here. Jalen Waddle, bingo bango. That's way too easy. The speed out of the backfield. Tua just lofts it to him, and that's that first down pickup. Easy peasy. All right, here we go. Trying to do something right before halftime. Tua, boom, his favorite route, a little bit of an out route on the left sideline. He's left-handed. This is the best throw he makes, and he makes it time and time again. And I'm always so gosh dang impressed because it's so gosh dang good. It's right on the boundary. We're going to get a great look right here, folks. But it's just all the way out to the left, and Tua just absolutely puts it on the money, right on the boundary. Like, you really can't even put this one more out in front, or he's gonna be out of bounds, folks. It's just so pinpoint, man. It's just so pinpoint. I can't gush enough over the pinpoint accuracy that we see by Tua on a daily basis, gamely basis. Nice little flea flicker here. Tua's Jalen Waddle's wide open about 20 yards down the field. Great speed, great recognition here by Jalen Waddle, selling it. Once again, everybody doing their job. This is a flea flicker play. It takes time to develop, and Jalen Waddle just kind of jogging across the field, selling it. Once again, everybody does their job. If every individual player does their job on every single play should be a touchdown, and this was it right here. It wasn't a touchdown, but it was very, very well done. Jalen Waddle jogging over the middle of the field, and then once that flea flicker hits, that pass back to Tua hits, he turns on the jets, gets wide open into space, and just brings it all the way down the field. And once again, Tua on the money, accurate in stride for Jalen Waddle for another 5-7 yards right there. Fantastic. And then here we go, Jalen Waddle on the goal line, a nice little flip, misdirection. And this is what I think this Dolphins offense truly needs as they're getting into the playoffs and all that. Obviously they need better receivers, and they can't fix that right now in the middle of the season. They can do that, obviously in the offseason. And this just refreshed on us, so I guess the highlights are done here. We can move off of it. But the trick plays, the trickery, the wildcat, I think we're gonna start to see a little bit more of this. Not that they don't trust Tua, because they should trust Tua, and if they still don't, I don't know what the hell to tell those offensive coordinators. But I think just the work with the pieces that they have. Jalen Waddle's not a great kind of vertical receiver. He's not the tallest, but he's very shifty. I don't want to call him a gadget guy, but I mean slants, crossing routes, quick little kind of 5 yards, let him kind of, take the top off the defense after the catch. That's obviously Jalen Waddle's game. Yes, you have Devontae Parker, but he's not very healthy and consistent. Yes, he's played these last 2 games, but is he going to get injured again? And they just don't have those other great wide receivers to really work the ball down the field consistently with. So expect maybe a little bit more wildcat, a little bit more misdirection, and I think I'm all about it because Tua can then hit you over the top when you're playing the kind of shallow crossing routes and the screens and all that. You're kind of pressing up a little bit more. Then Tua takes the top off the defense, which we will watch right here. We'll end it right here. The talking about this game on this 140-yard ball to Mac Hollins. Man, oh man. Everyone says Tua doesn't have the biggest arm, and yes, he doesn't have the biggest arm. This is not the biggest arm in the league, but it's big enough, folks. 55, he can throw 55, no problem. So here we go, Tua from his own 5-yard line, slinging the ball down to the 50-yard line, folks. That's 45 yards clean right there, and it's absolutely 100% on the money. Tua looking at it all the way down the field, and man, oh man, look at that great accuracy just to dump it over the shoulder. This is what Tua does, folks. Stop falling in love with the dink and dunk narrative. It's a false narrative. Every narrative in the mainstream about Tua is just not true, and overall just false, folks. We prove it wrong every single week, but just watch this, folks. Tua sees it. He's at his own 15-yard line, folks. We know this offensive line isn't the greatest, but he steps it up. He lets it go. He sees single high safety. He can fit this ball way down the field before the safety can come over, and he puts it right on the money. That's Tua, folks. And with the Wildcat, everybody pressing up, then you hit him with that. I think this is what I want to see out of the Dolphins offense for the rest of the season. I don't want to see it next year. I want to see them truly start to confidently start believing in Tua 10, 15, yards down the field consistently during the game. Let that man air it out. Let that man find that receiver and put that pinpoint accuracy 10, 15, 20 yards down the field a little bit more consistently. I want that next year, not the receiving core to kind of do that with right now. And with these kind of offensive coordinators still a little kind of, on their tippy toes about calling plays and all that. So I definitely think this Dolphins team can be a Super Bowl contender, folks. We've said that. We put them in that category. Defense is amazing. Tua gets it done last night. Accurate as heck, consistent. And, after that one turnover, he goes almost unstoppable for the rest of the game. So Dolphins get the win 20-3.